for where we are with our program, what we're looking to do, and just being able to take some of the steps in our response to adversity, and seeing all three phases really being able to build off of each other. And I was really pleased with the way that our guys ended the game. We're down 21-7, actually 14-0 to 21-7, and then to go on a 35-30 run to finish the game was something that definitely proud of our guys about. Came back last night. We're able to address some of the issues that showed up. Continue to emphasize the areas that we need to improve in all aspects. And I thought our guys had a good workout last night. Obviously excited about the upcoming week and the opportunity that's in front of us. And we've got to have a great week of preparation and all things. And we're definitely looking forward to this one. Having to go back on the road, and it's going to be two-story programs that you have an opportunity to compete against each other, and we're looking forward to the opportunity. And I just want to take a minute before I get to questions, and just saw the report coming in about Coach Bowden with the positive COVID test, and just to say that we're thinking about Coach, and being our thoughts and prayers. Pray that has a quick and speedy recovery, and definitely looking forward to seeing him around here very soon.
All right, the first question will be Irish Bell from Warchant.
Hey, Coach, did you learn anything about Jordan during the course of that game that maybe you didn't know from just practices?
Anytime you get an opportunity to see somebody on game day, to be able to take some of the fundamental things that he's been showing in the opportunities in practice and apply that. I thought seeing him hit the first shot to Keyshawn, you really saw. To say relieved, it was an excitement and a joy that he was able to go out there and just do what he knows he's capable of doing, and then to come back later with the next big throw to Terry, and to have rhythm throws, and just to go out there and play the game. I think there's times when kids see what's said and they read, and there's always quite the questions. And for him, it was just to go play the game, to have fun with it, and to kind of see that that kind of burden that comes off of his shoulders when he hits that first one, and just to see him grow in confidence throughout the course of the game. I thought he played at a really high level, and it was amazing because he really through the course of practice last week was very limited. But he prepared mentally and was able to take that mental preparation and apply it, for the opportunity he got there on Saturday night.
Hey, Mike, with that in mind, what areas have you seen from Jordan maybe improve the most since the time you first started to get working with him in the spring?
Well, I think, with all quarterbacks, I'm really big on their feet and just being in rhythm, being in time. And when you see Jordan in rhythm, and he's taking drops, and he's able, even in some of the rollouts that we had for him. Everything was under control. Everything was working together, and he trusted what he saw, and that's what my message to him is we get ready for a game, and obviously when he was going into it was, and trust your eyes and let your feet make you right, and he definitely did that, and was really pleased with the way that he was able to execute throughout.
Mike, how much did some of the injuries and being banged up in the fall affect what happened with the decision at quarterback in terms of Jordan maybe not really being 100% and not completely in the mix?
Well, we had quite a few injuries at a variety of positions. The quarterback was one. That we had two guys that missed the majority of the work, and so those guys have had to come along and make the most of the individual, and times once they've returned, and we're still working through that process with Chuba, but Jordan has really done a nice job. And you could tell the work that he did during the quarantine, and a lot of the things that he was able to do working on his own, and that was able to carry over. But we're excited about having him back, and some of the things that he's been able to do here early in the season, even with limited repetition. I think just it speaks well for where his continued development can go, and what he can be.
You talked after the game about maybe not making a ton of changes to the offense when Jordan took over in game, but if he enters the week as a starter, I know you kind of build your offense around the strengths of it. I guess how could the offense look different if you have kind of a whole week to prepare for if Jordan comes in as the starter?
You know, I mean, those are each and every week we're going to try to put our guys in the best position to be successful, and you know, it's you know, playing to the strengths that we have with all 11 guys that are on the field, and then you know, obviously trying to make sure that we're taking what the defense gives us you know, throughout the course of a contest. And so you know, Jordan provides a lot of versatility and flexibility and what we want to do and what we can do. So you know, you're definitely looking forward to seeing that all come together, and you know, allowing our guys to go out there and play fast, and you know, obviously perform to the best that they can.
Hey, Mike, do you envision a role for Tate and James this week, or is this kind of all Jordan's show?
You know, we're gonna go into practice, and guys are gonna continue to work and be ready and prepare for whatever opportunity might come their way. You know, I think you know, Jordan is you know, through that performance and the work that he's put in, I think he's established himself for the start this week, and the opportunity to go out there and play the game that the way that he's capable of playing it. So I'm excited about you know him being able to assume that role this week and you know, go make the most of it.
Hey, Coach, I just entering practice this week, was it nice to see the guys maybe enter with a little more confidence coming off that first win than in prior weeks before? Did you?
Most definitely. You know, I think you know, anytime you're able to see the work and the investment and for that to pay off, you know, like I mentioned in the opening, while also having to respond to adversity, and while also, you know, it not being just a picture perfect your performance, it was something that we had to work through and get to. And you know, I think you know, seeing the guys in the locker room after the game, and then really their approach, you know, they embrace the challenge. They understand that there's so much work that we have to do and continue to become more consistent, and a lot of areas just you know, for us to improve in all phases. And so they're embracing the work, they're embracing the challenge, and you know, at the end of the day, it's you know, our best ball is in front of us, and we just got to continue to bring that mindset of, you know, being humble in our approach of what needs to be done, and then going out there and executing it to the best of our ability.
Hey, Coach. Kind of an odd question, but I did not notice the traditional tomahawk stickers that go on the helmets for rewarding players. If not, are you still carrying on that tradition? And if so, will we see some this Saturday?
Yes, sir. We're going to continue that tradition. I think it's one of the great traditions in college football. You know, it is a special tradition. So we want to make sure that when you get a tomahawk and a helmet sticker, I mean, that it's something that's been well earned, and you know, obviously, you know, you'll see some that'll be on the helmets here this week moving forward.
Hey, Coach, 2 quick questions about the O-line. Robert Scott, how did he do once he settled down? Seemed like he took a couple lumps early on there. And Darius Washington, was he able to do anything yesterday? We saw him return to the sideline. Looked like his ankle was pretty heavily wrapped during the game on Saturday.
Yeah, really pleased with Robert Scott. You know, he came in and you know, getting his first college start. You know, had a really impressive week of practice. You know, preparing at a high level, and then really went out and played with a lot of confidence. I thought he played, you know, as hard as anybody throughout the course of the game, and you saw some real positives, some great growth. You know, I thought he was one of the bright spots that showed up consistently throughout the course of the game. And you know, obviously Darius went down with an injury throughout the course of the game, wasn't able to return, but I think we had a very positive diagnosis, and you will see how he responds throughout the course of the week.
It seemed like guys were able to finish plays a little bit better in this game, running backs, receivers, really a lot of different guys. Is that something that's been coming, or do you think they fed off of kind of the spark Jordan gave the offense?
I mean, it's something that we're emphasizing in every aspect: offense, defense, special teams, and that's something that we have to see. And you know, it definitely was not you know, to the standard of what we're pushing for, but it was improved. And I think that was that energy, and everybody kind of you know playing off of each other, and that's that's something that we have to continue to do. And, whether it's good plays, bad plays, however, whatever the outcome of the individual play is, we can still control the next one. And, giving elite level effort, elite level focus, and making sure that that everybody's pursuing the ball with a relentless mindset is that's something that's stressed in every practice, and definitely has to show up on game day. But I thought that was an area that we definitely improved this last week, and we need to see that same type of jump here this week upcoming.
Go back to Brennan from Home State.
Mike, I'm wondering if you have like an exact number on how many offensive line combinations you guys have used so far this season. And is that number, I guess, long term, is that a good thing for development, or is it a little bit higher than maybe you would like right now?
I tell you, the number's already too high for me to remember right now. And after 3 games, that's not necessarily what you want to see. But, it also shows it's college football. And it's you guys have to be ready for the opportunities that when they come their way. We've had a variety of guys that have been either available or unavailable for different circumstances and different reasons. But, it also shows that, the versatility of that group. And, you look at Devontae Taylor. I mean, he played 3 different positions there the other night, and he's playing at a high level. You see that the different combinations and the different faces. I mean, that is a one position where you want to see continuity, where you want those guys to get used to the way they communicate and being able to play together. But that just hasn't been the case for us so far to this point this year. But it also, I think Coach Atkins has done a great job with those guys, being able to cross train and being able to have those guys rely on each other with their communication. That's going to be something we still need to improve on. But, he's definitely there is a great progression in that group. And, I'm excited about what the future holds with that group. I mean, we have a nice combination of obviously the youth that is playing, because that's pretty evident, but also some of the older guys that are playing their best ball and continuing to work to improve each week.
Go back to our next week, Aslan.
Coach, with DeMaurian, did you guys challenge him, and how do you think he responded Saturday for you guys?
Yeah, you talking about Terry? I can bet you're kind of. Yeah, I thought Terry. There's no question he had his best week of practice last week, and the week prior, he was limited. Kind of was banged up coming out of game 1, so we really didn't have much of impact in the game plan. We didn't know if he'd be available for the game. But I mean, there was he also challenged himself. He understands the expectations. We sat down and we had a real, I guess, heart-to-heart conversation about what we want this to look like here moving forward. And I had a lot of respect for the way that he worked this past week, and I was glad to see that carry over to the game. I mean, Terry has a chance to be one of the more dominant receivers, I believe, in college football. And just that consistency and just continuing to push himself and seeing that happen through the course of the game. I think he played over 77 snaps, and some of his best plays were when he didn't have the ball in his hands, and that's an exciting thing to be able to say about a wide receiver. And so he's got to continue to push. He's got to continue to improve. But I see him embracing that challenge, and obviously we got another week ahead of us that he can go prove it.
Go back to Kurt from the Democrat.
Some similarities, obviously, between the first road game and then this one this week, and going on the road against a highly ranked team. I guess, what lesson can the coaching staff, the team, take from kind of handling the moment from the first game going into this one? And I guess, what have you seen from Notre Dame, watching them? Obviously, it's a weird situation with them not having played in some time.
Yeah, I think, like we said earlier, you learn from every experience, and there are certain things that occurred on the first trip of the season that we absolutely need to make sure that we get corrected and we'll be able to respond at a much higher level here in this contest coming up on Saturday. But we're playing a top football team in the country, and there's no question Notre Dame. They've got great experience throughout both sides of the ball. You look at their offense and defensive fronts. Those are two imposing units. I mean, they've got some great playmakers surrounding them. And so, we just have to go play our best ball. We got to continue to improve. We got to continue to focus on our details, our fundamentals, and then we got to be relentless in every snap that we play. Our best players have to play their best game, and I'm excited about the challenge that's in front of us, and the opportunity that's coming. There, in South Bend on Saturday night.
Go back to Chris on those people.
Last week, was Hampton Nazarene close to getting cleared and getting back out there? Or is he still got a ways to go in your estimation?
It's we're working through this process. Obviously we're going to make sure that he's 100% before he takes the field, and so he's working hard, in his rehabilitation, and so there's an opportunity for us, coming up this week, and we'll see how that goes.
Go back to Andrea.
Mike, is there something about Jordan, either his personality, what he's done in the locker room, that allows him to provide that spark beyond what he can do with his legs and making some plays? Because we've seen him do this throughout the course of his careers, is providing that spark. I'm wondering if there's just something about him that allows him to do that.
He's a young man that works extremely hard. I think he's respected by everybody on the team. Everybody respects not only the playmaking ability that he has, because that shows up, but also how he prepares to do that. And I think last week was a prime example of that. He might have had 20 snaps in practice total. When you look at the course of the week, and but still to be prepared in the moment, that it really shows the commitment that he has. The understanding of how to prepare, and then you go out there and you play at a high level, and people feed off of that. But he's got a great personality. He's definitely loved among this team, and respected, which is critically important.
Mike, I wanted to follow up on your comments about Tamorrion Terry. He was someone who showed maybe not positive emotion against Miami. For him to channel it, though, in a way that was positive this week, I guess, how important was that for what you're trying to establish culturally for a big-time player like that to respond that way? And then second on Tamorrion, the play where he keeps Ontario Wilson in bounds, is that what you're talking about with him making good plays without the ball?
I think responding in a positive way when adversity strikes, that's for everyone, and it's not just Terry. Obviously you can point to a lot of different examples so far in a short season where we have and we have not responded in the right way, and to be able to acknowledge that, and more importantly to be able to change that, to realize that there's going to be a point in every game where you're going to be challenged, where something's not going to go your way, where the emotions. I want guys to play with unbelievable passion. I want coaches that coach with unbelievable passion. I'm a pretty passionate guy myself, but to always be in control of that emotion and that response. that's what's important, because it allows you to stay focused on the job at hand. It allows you when you are down 21-7 to make sure that you're putting guys and you're putting yourself in the best position to be able to go out there and achieve success on the next play. And that's a lesson we all have to learn. And I think that when you acknowledge it and you embrace it and you push yourself through the course of the week in practice and in every aspect so that you're ready for that moment on game day, that allows you the best opportunity to achieve success. I think, Terry, that's one play that you mentioned, but there are also some other opportunities that he had out on the perimeter blocking, some effort plays where he's 20-25 yards down the field without the ball in his hands, doing what's necessary to help, maybe spring a run or spring a catch for somebody else. And, that's something that I take a great deal of pride in when you see our receivers playing at that level. We still have a lot of work to do, a lot of things that we've got to improve upon, but you definitely showed up, and he had some moments where he could have probably responded in a different way than what he did. But you saw that control show up through the course of the game, and I was proud of him for that.
All right, we're going to go with three more, Coach. Next will be Pat Burnham from Osceola.
Hey, Coach. The defense played arguably its best half of football in the second half of the Jacksonville State game, allowing about half their yards on the last drive of the game. Is that more indicative of who you were playing, or more a product of them having more and more time in that system?
I mean, you want to see that constant growth, and the confidence should grow, through each rep that we get, and making sure that guys are playing at a high level. It's great getting Josh Cato back, through the course of the game, and I thought that he really provided a great spark for us. Being without Marvin in the first half, provided an opportunity for some younger guys to be able to go in and play, and then also some older guys that we're continuing to push to continue to elevate the level of their play. But I think you're going to see our football team and our defense and really all units continue to grow through the course of this season. And I'm excited about seeing them have that success. But we have to we've got to be better. Even the second half, there's things that showed up through the course of the game that that we were able to address last night. The guys were able to see, and I thought that the practice and the approach they brought to Sunday night and how we were working. That was impressive to see. So I'm looking forward to their continued growth and us playing our best ball moving forward.
Hey, Mike, you touched in your intro on Coach Bowden and wishing him well. What's it been like for you to have? I know you haven't had a ton of interactions given everything, but what's it been like for you to have some interaction with him?
I mean, it's incredible. I mean, he's one of the not only one of the greatest coaches to ever coach the game, but just such an incredible man, and he's an inspiration to all. He's got a wonderful heart. I've been able to be around him on a number of occasions, and he came and talked to the team. He's come and talked to the staff. Just a special human being, and I'm honored for the opportunity to know him and to be able to be able to have that relationship. And so it's beyond anything that I would have ever dreamed, probably, to be able to have that relationship and that resource. But I'm grateful for it.
All right, our last one, we'll go back to Ira from Warchant.
Lawrence obviously had a really nice game, but I was curious about Jay-Sean and LaDamian, the toughness they ran with, and like LaDamian had the stiff arm, then kept his balance on that one run, and Jay-Sean obviously gets a lot of tough yards as well. Is that something that they brought to the table, or is that something Coach Johnson has kind of helped them bring out?
Well, I mean, I think it's in them, and with great coaches, you're able to bring out the best of what guys have, and I think Coach Johnson's done an incredible job with that group. I think the group's also done an incredible job in responding to the expectation. And you talk about guys playing without the ball in their hands. You watch those three backs and do you say the dirty work that they do when the ball's not in their hand. That's what's impressive. And there's a couple blocks that all of them had. Jay-Sean, even on kickoff return, helps bring a couple of returns. Just by you going in there and kind of throwing around his body. You see Lawrence, even as a young freshman, serving as a lead blocker at times. LaDamian is he's a physical presence, and he loves playing the game. And see all of them have success with the ball as well as without the ball. That's what we want that group to be, and that's what I've been fortunate to be around throughout my coaching career. And we're going to continue to push these guys, and I'm excited about this group moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, guys.